I never thought my peaceful Montana mornings would end with Karen Vance pointing a loaded gun at my chest. She was the self-appointed queen of our so-called HOA coalition, and she had just made the dumbest mistake of her entitled little life. 2 days earlier, I was back on my grandmother's ranch after 8 years of classified Navy SEAL ops. The crisp September air smelled like pine and freedom. I was simply Caleb Stone, now just a guy fixing rotten fence posts. No one asked about my scars or why I still cleared every room like it was Fallujah. Then my phone rang with that sickly sweet voice. Mr. Karen Vance, president of the Metork Estates HOA. She sounded like a church lady selling cookies and control. I'd love to swing by and welcome you with our brand new handbook. I figured, why not meet the neighborhood tyrant in person? At 3 o'clock sharp, her white Mercedes crunched up my gravel drive like she owned the county. Karen waddled out in a too-tight floral blazer that screamed, "I'm important," and "I eat feelings for breakfast." Her handshake was clammy and calculated. Her eyes scanned my property like a drone on steroids. Standards matter, mister. As strong as its weakest link. She handed me a binder thicker than the Bible and twice as judgmental. Then she spotted my security cameras and smirked. Our patrol service makes those redundant, dear. She left a tiny tracking device taped inside the back cover like a true amateur Bond villain. I crushed it under my boot and smiled for the first time all day. That night, the handbook revealed I was already guilty of 17 imaginary crimes. Grass 2 inches too tall, tool shed older than Karen's bad dye job, the list went on. My first compliance notice arrived at dawn with drone photos and a $3,500 fine. Karen called again, her voice dripping fake concern. Veterans sometimes struggle with authority structures, Mr. Stone. She knew exactly who I was, and she still thought she could bully me. 2 days later, her goons rolled up in tactical gear that cost more than my truck. Ronan and Vince flashed fake badges and demanded a voluntary safety inspection. I asked for a warrant. Ronan just laughed and keyed his radio. Subject is cooperative, beginning inspection now. They spent 20 minutes mapping my blind spots like they were planning a heist. As they left, Ronan leaned out the window with a cold grin. Quiet place out here, mister, and no one would notice for days. That night, Deputy Miller confirmed the pattern. Fake HOA fake finds real intimidation aimed at veterans and old folks who couldn't fight back. But they picked the wrong ranch this time. The next morning, 2 white trucks rolled in while I was replacing fence line. Karen's voice crackled over their radios like a cartoon villain. Arrest him for violating community safety ordinances, boys. Ronan drew first gun, shaking in his hand. Vince took a tactical stance that would have gotten him laughed out of BUD/S. I dropped, rolled behind the tractor, and the world slowed to that familiar combat crawl. 2 shots cracked harmlessly into the dirt. I closed the gap, redirected Ronan's arm, and his pistol hit the ground with a satisfying thud. Vince's hands trembled so hard I almost felt sorry for the guy. "Drop it," I said quietly.
He did.
Zip ties later, Vince sang like a canary. "Some fat lady named Karen paid us cash on Craigslist to scare you into selling cheap." Deputy Miller arrived, took one look, and whistled low. "Navy SEAL, huh? They really didn't do their homework." Karen called me an hour later, all pretense gone. "You think this is over, mister?" In high places. Turns out her real name was Karen Hayes, married to a state senator and running a multi-county real estate scam. They targeted prime land with water rights, then squeezed owners until they sold for pennies. She had sent armed contractors to my door thinking I was just another broken veteran. The FBI loved the body cam footage. My hidden cameras caught everything. 6 months later, I sat in federal court and watched Karen Vance Hayes waddle to the stand in an orange jumpsuit 2 sizes too small. The judge read the verdict: 15 years, no parole, complete asset forfeiture. She actually cried real tears while the gallery laughed under their breath. I donated my civil settlement to veteran transition programs because money was never the point. My neighbor, Mrs. Casserole, and hugged me tight. "You stopped them from killing more folks like my husband," she whispered. "I came to Montana to bury my past and found out some fights follow you home." Sometimes the only way to keep the peace is to remind the Karens of the world that freedom isn't negotiable. My ranch is quiet again. Veterans stop by now and then for coffee and fence-mending advice. Last week, Agent Reed texted me about a new scam up in Idaho, same pattern. I typed back, "Send me the details." Because here's the truth Karen never learned. Petty tyrants with clipboards and fake authority always underestimate the quiet guy who knows exactly what real power looks like. And when they finally meet it, well, that's when the real comedy begins. The kind that ends with them in handcuffs and the rest of us laughing all the way to the bank of justice. So tell me in the comments, would you have rolled over or rolled them up? And why do these HOA Karens always think the rules only apply to everyone else? Drop your thoughts below, like and subscribe, because the next Karen story is already cooking.